Ross is going to be with us. We're going to talk about science and natural disasters and God's involvement in that. And you want to stay tuned for that at 4 o'clock. And sometime around the sixth inning, the umpires are going to come over and check out my ears. So we'll record that for you. Not really. Did you see that in the game yesterday? They should have pulled a quarter out of his ear. That would have been fantastic. But they found nothing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, never mind. This is Southern California Live. This hour, one of the great honor we have is we have the owner and president of In-N-Out Burger. Have you been to In-N-Out lately? I was emceeing at a program last Saturday, and the first speaker, like 10 in the morning, mentioned In-N-Out, and I was distracted the rest of the day. I could not wait to get out of there and go get my double-double. And so we're excited to have Lindsay Snyder with us and her husband Sean, who is the co-founder of Slave to Nothing and Army of Love, which are two foundations that In-N-Out has run, and they have a great event that I want to invite you to. So Lindsay Snyder Ellingson is the owner and president of In-N-Out Burger. Her grandparents, Harry and Esther Snyder, founded In-N-Out Burger in 1948, and to this day the business is still privately owned and operated, and it's always been a family business, and Lindsay intends to keep it that way. She's a devoted wife and proud mother of 4 children, and she is with us with her husband Sean. Sean is the co-founder of Slave to Nothing, the Slave to Nothing Foundation, which helps those who are enslaved by any person or substance by empowering them to live free, and also Army of Love, that looks to act as an outstretched arm of the body of Christ to embrace people in need, direction, encouragement, prayer, and discipleship, and more. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. I want you to know that on Saturday, October 15th, this weekend, October 15th, at the legendary House of Blues in Anaheim, there is a concert and that Slave to Nothing is put on, and I want to invite you to come to that. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. But first, let's welcome Lindsay and Sean Ellingson. Welcome to Southern California Live.
Thank you.
Hey,
thanks, Scott.
Thanks for joining me today. It's great to have you. And, you know, my kids, they're 13 and 10, and they are big fans of the great In-N-Out Burger.
Aw, well, we're customers.
Yeah, what's your favorite thing to get at In-N-Out?
Oh, gosh. Sean, you go first.
Double, no onion, extra toast, extra spread.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, my favorite is double meat, bread, pickle, mustard, chopped chilies only.
Oh, it's so good. Is there a secret menu that like only the really inside In-N-Out people have?
Oh, I think our associates get pretty creative. So, you know, our company picnics and events are really fun. We have fun orders there.
Yeah, I bet you do. Well, we're really excited about you being with us, not just because of In-N-Out and how delicious it is and fantastic it is, but also, you know, for our audience, I think a lot of people recognize that In-N-Out is a Christian organization, that, you know, they see the verses on the bottom of the cup and they know that there's a Christian background, but maybe we aren't as familiar with the ministry that In-N-Out does. You know, Lindsay, one of the things that when you became owner of the company that you included, that you expanded on, I guess, is the Bible verses that are on the packaging of In-N-Out things. John 3:16 is underneath the red cups, right? But you've also added Proverbs 24:16. For the righteous will fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble. When calamity strikes, Luke 6:35, but love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. And then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, because he is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Isaiah 9:6. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. You added those. What was the reason behind those verses being added? What caused you to pick those?
Oh, well, you know, some of it ties to what the product that they're on. So the fry boat was the first one that I added, and just with my testimony and everything that my family's been through, that I've been through, that verse just to me spoke about perseverance, and that as long as you love the Lord, and it reminds me of something my dad said, which that you might stumble, but you've got to get back up, and so that's kind kind of to tie with that verse, and just knowing that God is always in your corner to believe in you to get back up. And I felt that in my life. Yeah, and then the holiday one, that was our holiday cup that we did more recently that had the Isaiah 9:6 on it. And so, of course, with it being a holiday cup, you'd understand why it's talking about the birth of Jesus.
Yeah, that's right. You know, whenever I'm at In-N-Out, I notice people all the time looking for those verses. So it's something that people, I think that some people check to see if they're still there, because we live in a time when maybe there's pressure to take them off, and it's so great that they're still there, and you never know who you're going to impact.
Yeah, I think we have about 9 different products that have verses on them, and I've got to add a handful of those in, and then we do have some little secret ones where, like the fry boat, the inflatable raft fry boat, that one even has a verse on the bottom.
Oh, that's so cool. That's really cool. You know, it's one thing to put the verses down. I think that that's great, but your faith plays a role in the way you lead In-N-Out. How does servant leadership play among the employees and people working there? It seems like actually a great environment when you go in there to work.
Yeah, servant leadership is really something that we've been teaching and integrating into, our workshops for managers and even our support, and just, I believe in visionary leadership, but I also believe that servant leadership is the greatest, because that's what Jesus modeled, and, we're supposed to try to be as much as possible, and I think that, going to, look at yourself as someone to lift others up and to help them be even better than you, and teach them what you know, and teach them, that hopefully they can learn from your mistakes, or you can help them not fall into some other patterns that maybe they've seen, or so we really teach care, of course, and that's something that comes from the heart, not the mind as much, but really taking the time to care for our associates and having them be there for others. And we believe that having a strong team and having a family atmosphere and environment is one of the things that makes In-N-Out so special, and it's how we can take care of our most important asset, our customers.
Well, I think that shows in the experience, and even in, as a customer, what you observe when you go there. I think that is just super, super great. And I thank you for doing that. I think that people, when they recognize that it's a Christian organization, they might wonder what happens in the community. And Sean, you operate a couple of the foundations that are a part of In-N-Out. Can you tell us about those? Let's start with Army of Love. What's Army of Love?
So Army of Love actually is not part of In-N-Out, but it is our personal ministry that we do have on the side. Obviously, there's no line for us with every part of our life. It's basically the same, at work or not at work, and we lived to serve the purpose to basically set people free and hopefully disciple and encourage, bring hope to people that are just struggling or broken or have been through very traumatic experiences or whatever it is that's possibly keeping them in bondage or keeping them down. So, the ultimate goal is to fulfill the commandment of love. In Mark 12:30, it says to love God with everything we have, and then to love everybody. I get choked up even just talking about that verse. There's just so much joy and that God has brought to my life just from choosing to follow Him. And so to see somebody else either open their heart up to allowing that to be a part of their life is just it's an amazing thing to be able to experience and to witness for new people, but also for people that have struggled for a while to come out of that and to have just a joy and a different experience in life than maybe they've had in the past.
Yeah, how did Army of Love come to be founded? What led you to you guys to go down this road?
So my wife started the ministry in about 2013. She had a vision, or 2012. Correct me if I'm wrong, hon.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, yeah. So she had the vision. Nothing basically came out of the vision for a few years. She was kind of just waiting for God to reveal to her what to do next. And she had a vision for an army of love. And so I was in the military myself. I served in the United States Army as a cavalry scout. I got out of the military, and I was just praying that God would introduce me to somebody that I could be a provider for and take care of. I wanted a wife. I wanted a family. And so shortly after that prayer, God put Lindsay in my life, and it was unbelievable. But even a couple of weeks after we had met, God released the 501c3 for the foundation to go forward, and we saw that as a sign from God to start this ministry. We basically took on a Bible study that that kind of fell into our lap. We've probably been doing that for about 8 years, almost every single week. I don't know if we've only missed a handful, but yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else on?
No, the only thing I'll correct is that the 501c3 for Army of Love actually came through. It took longer than expected, and it came through a week after we got married.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that it is clear that it's something that's very close to your hearts, that this matters a lot to you personally. And the website says the Army of Love. It's armyoflove.com. You can go check it out there. The Army of Love website says the Army of Love looks to act as an outstretched arm of the body of Christ to embrace people in need of direction, encouragement, prayer, discipleship, healing, training, and freedom. All of those things are huge right now, I think, in the needs that people have in their life. Yeah, so the impact is tremendous. You're listening to Southern California Live. My guests are Lindsay Snyder Ellingson, owner and president of In-N-Out Burger, with her husband Sean, who is the co-founder of the Slave to Nothing Foundation. Let's talk about the Slave to Nothing Foundation. And what's the focus of Slave to Nothing?
So Slave to Nothing was founded in 2016. Sean and I really had it on our hearts since we met, to do something to help fight addiction and to save other addicts. And we've both experienced in our lives, my father suffered with addiction, Sean's brother that passed away, his other brother that is now sober, and then Sean actually struggled for a time as well with alcoholism. So I think us really wanting to get behind and fight that, we knew that we were going to do something. So we started to get that together, and then really felt God pushing the fight for human trafficking and to use In-N-Out as a platform to bring the awareness and join that fight as well to prevent human trafficking. So, and to rescue people, and that's the thing, we both had it in our hearts to just set people free. So whether it's in Slave to Nothing, whether it's in Army of Love, or just like we said, in our day-to-day life, when we meet people, we want freedom for people. We want people to have just that freedom in Christ, and to know that it's there for everyone. We started that, focusing on both of those causes. And even though we were advised not to, you're told, hey, you need to focus on one thing, we said, well, God told us to do two, so we're doing both of them.
So you were advised to do substance abuse or trafficking, but not both.
Yeah, not putting them together. So that's what the two is for in Slave to Nothing, is that there's two different things there that we're focusing on. So, and it's been great.
I think that is great. I think, we're living in a weird time where I think, I think from a lot of programs out there, they're not really about recovery anymore. They're sort of about, how do you do bad things more safely, which makes no sense. And, I think that this is something, the idea that you're encouraging recovery and you're encouraging the idea of freedom. Both of these things are related, actually. There's a lot of drugs involved in the trafficking industry, and, I think they feed into each other. I think the a terrific way, doing those two things together.
Absolutely.
A lot of people listening have family or friends who are involved or had an experience with trafficking or drug addiction and substance abuse and other things. How does somebody who's hearing this say, I want to get involved? How do you get involved with the Slave to Nothing Foundation?
Well, they can go and visit the slavetotnothing.org website, and we have a couple different events each year, and we have other community things that we've done to help out different foundations that we're given to. We have a 5K. We've had a 5K for a few years, and but the month of October is the Substance Abuse Prevention Month and Awareness, and so we have an event every October for Slave to Nothing, and then in January is Human Trafficking Prevention and Awareness, and so that month we also have, in both of those months, January and October, we have can drives in the stores where people can donate for donations 3-to-1 up to $250,000. So it's any donation during those months we do that. And,
all right, and then you have an event coming up this Saturday. Tell us about this event. It's called Rock to Freedom, and it's coming up on Saturday, the 15th. That's this coming Saturday. Tell us about this event. What's going to happen at this event? Why should people go?
Well, we had a great turnout last year. It was really, really fun, and I think that, it's somewhat of a somber cause. It's sad when you're talking about people's lives lost and the statistics of how many people are affected and all the families that are impacted, and it's very emotional, but I think that this is the best event where we're able to capture those emotions, feature people's testimonies. We have someone there that's going to be sharing their testimony live. We have videos capturing some others. Our band, 48 Special, it's the cover band, will be playing, and we're going to have Tommy DiCarlo, the singer from Boston, perform.
Right.
So it's really exciting because, we're going to be changing lives in one night, with everybody's involvement, all the people that go there. We have some live auction. We have some stuff with the VIP purchases. They get some special items. We have lots of fun stuff there throughout the night. And, we've had a great coffee bar, because this is obviously an event where there's no alcohol served. We've had spectacular coffee. But between the entertainment and the things that people are able to win or buy in the auction, and I think these celebrity appearances that are pretty fun, and it's a neat experience. It's unlike where you might see them in other places.
Right. Well, I think so it's a coffee bar, so you don't have alcohol, but there'll be a coffee bar there. See that? That sounds great to me. I think coffee is the brew of the believer. It's the juice of the joyful. I can go on. I got one for almost every letter of the alphabet. That sounds fantastic. and do you both sing in your band? Is it the In and Out Band 48 Special? Just your band personal? Yeah, the In and Out Family Band.
It is. Yeah. So I sing a little bit. At the bass, Sean plays a lot of guitar and sings a little bit, but he's really good, and everyone wants him to speak more. We have a great time.
That sounds like a great time. This sounds like a great event. I want to reiterate, this is this coming Saturday, and it's a fundraiser. So there's an auction. There's more. The tickets are $100, okay, but at 100%. Am I right? 100% of the proceeds from the Rock to Freedom band program go to Slave to Nothing, and the mission to free people from being enslaved by any person or substance. 100% goes to that, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic, and it's this Saturday, And any other details, things that people should know? It's at the House of Blues in Anaheim, and you go to slavetonothing.com or .org, slavetonothing.org to get your tickets.
Yeah, they can also go to events.inandout.com/rock-to-freedom 2022, and you can get the tickets directly from that.
All right, that's events.inandout.com and then Rock to Freedom 2022. I think if you go to slavetonothing.org and just click on the top left-hand corner, there's a link right to that too if you're listening, and you can get to that. It's slave2, the number 2, slavetonothing.org, and check that out. Hey, I hope that goes well for you on Saturday, way beyond even what you imagine. It going for on Saturday is so important, and so many people right now are impacted personally in these ways. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting us talk about it.
Yeah, well, anytime. We'd love to talk about this more the next time you have something coming up, or if there's anything going on, with In and Out or Army of Love. I'd love to talk about Army of Love more another time, too. I think that's something that's great for people to connect with. And I want to thank you both for what you are doing. This is Southern California Live. My guests are Lindsay Snyder Ellingson, owner and president of In and Out Burger, and her husband, Sean Ellingson, who is a co-founder of the Slave to Nothing Foundation. Lindsay and Sean, thank you for joining me today in Southern California Live.